Hello, Theo here. Before I start ranting on and talking about how to get good, I want to be clear that I'm not some excellent pro player or anything like that. But I have been playing fighting games a long time, and I feel like I have some really useful tips to help you grow in whatever game it is you're playing. If you're here watching this video, I'm assuming you want to get better at fighting games. And the very ground level thing, before step one, the ground level thing you need to do, is make sure you know the basic mechanics of your game. What your meters do, how to do a special move, how to like the basic combo structure, like what buttons do you push to try to do a combo. Learn that stuff first. That's step 0. That's not even step 1. That's step 0. That's very basic stuff. You can just watch some videos about it or just push buttons in the game. Once you have the idea of how the basics of your game works, that's when the real growth of a fighting game player begins. The mentality of a fighting game player dictates everything. How you function when you're at a tournament and under pressure, how you handle ranked and losing, how you learn and how you grow. Your mentality and how you think about fighting games will dictate everything about your improvement. Getting good in its essence is really just improving in small ways over and over and over again. And this is really important when it comes down to the mentality of the fighting game player, because it's these small victories that stack up together to make big victories. This mentality of these little improvements over time brings us to the Japanese concept of Kaizen. Kaizen means continual improvement. It literally translated, it's Kai, which is change, and Zen, which is good. As a philosophy, Kaizen is used in Japanese businesses to help improve their models, their structures, how their employees' day-to-day stuff is, and even their personal lives. And I think that we can apply this over to fighting games by just continually improving a little bit at a time. So let's talk a little bit about what kind of steps you can take to grow. This is how I personally grow and improve at fighting games. So maybe the methodology will change a little bit, but hopefully the structure that I'm going to present kind of helps you understand what you maybe need to do to help yourself grow. Step 1 would be to have a reasonable and achievable goal. Something like landing a combo consistently, or learning a character matchup, or maybe even whiff punishing better. Once you've identified what your goal is, then you need to break it down into smaller parts. Like for the combo thing, you need to identify what combo you're trying to learn. Are you trying to learn a B&B? Are you trying to learn an air combo? You're trying to learn a knockdown combo? Like, what is it you're trying to learn? Once you've identified your goal and you've broken it down some, you're ready to move on to the next step. Step 2 is grinding. Whether that be practicing your execution for a combo, or studying matchup notes for like character you're having trouble with, or even just setting up drills for whiff punishing, grinding is a key part of improving, and it might be one of the more boring parts, but it might be the most important part. Quick break in the flow of the video, but in the spirit of what we're talking about, in the spirit of Kaizen, I'd like to ask you to subscribe and like the video if you're enjoying the content. It really does help the channel grow. The third step that I take is networking. Usually talking to people will help you understand issues that you're having and trying to improve at certain things. A good example of this is like finding a character specific Discord to learn a matchup, or like talking to a buddy and having him watch you do a combo. Maybe he can help explain to you what you're missing, or even playing somebody at a local and asking them to do a certain move so you can try and whiff punish it in a match so that they'll do it more often. This is part of the reason, like networking is part of the reason why I talk about going to locals so much, because it's a hotbed of growth. Going to hang out with people and talking to them in person is a hotbed of growth. But there are online locals too, tournaments and things and events that get run online in communities that really create the same kind of hotbed. So you have lots of options here, but I highly recommend for step 3 is to network. Networking is going to help you improve so much. And that's really it. It's just about you kind of doing it. You gotta find a goal, break it down, then you've got to grind it out, and then you've got to network about it and talk to people and help get advice. And once you've kind of done those things, you're gonna just improve. And you can just do it over and over again. You cycle that, whether it's for a combo. You learn one combo, okay, it's time to learn combo number two. You use the same process. Now it's time to learn combo number three. Okay, now I want to learn matchups. Oh, there's 32 characters right now in this game. Let me just do this process 32 times. And though that is very grindy and it takes time, we come back to that concept of Kaizen, where it's continuous small improvements. And I really think that that's the heart of fighting games. I feel like sometimes fighting games gets too caught up in the concept of winning and doing well, when really, at least to me, fighting games at its core is about improving. It's about being better at the game every day. It's really important to be patient with yourself because improvement takes time. And celebrating your small victories is really important, like focusing on landing that combo during a tournament match. That kind of stuff is super important to not beat yourself up, to take those victories and hold them up and be like, I did this. I've grown. It's with that kind of better mentality of the I've grown, I've learned, that you can reinforce yourself and enjoy the game more. Because if you're continually beating yourself up for your mistakes, it stops being fun. And now you're just trying to catch up. You're just trying to do better because you're doing bad instead of going, oh, I did this cool thing. I want to do more cool things and growing. I think it's really important to be patient with yourself and celebrate those small victories. Celebrate landing that combo in tournament because we spend a lot of time on the negativity of like, oh, I got beat up or oh, I didn't block the low or oh, whatever. But fighting games, I mean, at least in my opinion, fighting games aren't about winning. They're about improving. They're about being better than you were the day before. I'd love to continue this discussion in the comments below because there's just so many different thought processes and different ways of learning and growing. And we have a lot of like really good players in Vegas, and I know a bunch of you are already subscribed. So feel free to throw your thoughts down there, throw your ideas down there. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask questions because I'm always responding to comments and would love to help out. So if you want to get good at fighting games, follow the 3 steps that I outlined before. And another way you could probably get really good at fighting games is if you supported your locals, or come and support mine. So if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're wanting to improve at fighting games. I'm sure you're trying to improve at something specific. Well, hello, Whitty. This is my cat. Say hello, everyone. Oh. I need you to move, though. I'm trying to shoot a video. I love you very much. Beatings. Meow.